Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's IAS classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to see current affairs of 22nd May 2022. So let's get started with our discussion and let us try to see today's quote. So today's quote is a motivational quote. So prelims is very near. I am hoping that you are doing well and you are going to clear this prelims at any cost. So quote here is, if you cannot do great things. So if you cannot do great things, do small things in a great way. So here this is the quote that you can keep in your mind in your preparation, and that will be mainly boosting your motivation. So now let us try to see first topic. So as I will be saying every time that please don't skip the Sunday's newspaper. So Sunday's newspaper is important to cover science and technology and even your environment and ecology related topics. Sorry for the brag throat. Okay, so please try to bear me for next 30 to 40 minutes. So first topic which mainly talks about excise duty. So what happens, center slashes fuel taxes and it also sets rupees 200 subsidy on this LPG cylinders. So whenever this LPG that is seen in the newspaper or anywhere, so one scheme that need to come into your mind is Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. Okay, and now let us try to talk about what is this excise duty and what is the impact. So this article is important from your economy point of view, which mainly comes under your GS paper 3. And if you are talking about context, it mainly says that our Union Finance Minister, that is Nirmala Sitharaman, she unveiled a slew of measures to rein the runaway inflation on Saturday evening. So what happened? Our Finance Minister mainly made one statement like, so they are mainly going to decrease duty or mainly they came up with some duty cuts regarding this petroleum products. And not only decreasing of excise duty on these petroleum products like petrol and diesel, and even they came up with this rupees 200 subsidy on these LPG cylinders for poor. So this is about context. So if you see details, it mainly says that there is a reduction of the central excise duty, okay, that is rupees 8 per liter of petrol and rupees 6 per liter per diesel. Okay, so because of this decreasing of excise duty, we are expecting that there is decreasing of price of petrol and diesel, okay, that is by 9.5 rupees per liter per petrol and rupees 7 per liter per diesel. So this is a thing which mainly said by our Union Finance Minister. So why they came up with this taking of the steps like decreasing of excise duty? So already you know that in our economy we are facing one problem called as inflation. So inflation is nothing but increasing of price rise regarding goods and services in the market. So as we all know that inflation will be measured in this CPI, that is Consumer Price Index, and Wholesale Price Index. And recently in month of April, so CPI, Consumer Price Index, is very high, that is about 7.8%. And if you are talking about Wholesale Price Index, it's also very high. It mainly reached 15.1%. So the target of maintaining of this inflation here is, okay, 4 plus or minus 2%. That the limit here is 2 to 6%, and it is almost 8%. So because of this here, RBI which mainly need to take some measures, right? So RBI mainly decreased, for example, if you're talking about interest rates, so RBI which mainly came with increasing of interest rates, for example, repo rate by 40 basis point and CRR cash reserve ratio, that is about 50 basis points. Then what happened, whenever there is increasing of interest rate, that will mainly decrease the money supply in the market. So because of this, that will leads to decreasing of inflation. So these are the steps which are mainly taken by RBI. So not only RBI but also government need to take some steps, right? So for example, if there is no demand in the market, government need to create demand in the market, that is through government spending. And even government can take steps like decreasing of excise duty on these petroleum products. So why government need to decrease this petroleum products or excise duty on these petroleum products? Because as you all know that, so these diesel and petrol are important especially. So why they are important, especially if we want to see the manufacturing process, so they need to get raw materials. So in each and every stage here, transportation is very important. So whenever there is increasing of this petroleum products, automatically the cost of the goods and services will be increased. So because of this, government mainly came up with the step of decreasing of excise duty. So this is the second time government came up with this decreasing of excise duty on these petroleum products. So here, because of this step here, economists, they are mainly expecting that there will be decreasing of inflation in the market. Okay, so this is about this topic. And apart from this excise duty on this petroleum products, even government came with subsidy of rupees 200 per gas cylinder up to 12 cylinders a year, that will be granted over 9 crore beneficiaries under this Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. So under this Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, so people who are mainly below the poverty line, they will be getting this cylinders at a subsidized price, and they are going to get rupees 200 subsidy on a single cylinder up to 12 cylinders per year. And you have to know about some facts regarding this Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. So what will be the impact? So what is success of this scheme, that you have to refer. And if you are talking about some facts regarding this excise duty, so excise duty is a form of a tax which mainly imposed on the goods, okay, where at the level of production, at the level of licensing, and as well as at the level of sale. So government will be imposing some tax that is called as excise duty. So I can say this excise duty, which is mainly opposite to this custom duty. So why? Because so this custom duty, which is mainly applied to the goods which are mainly okay, which are mainly coming from outside of the country. But here this excise duty, which is mainly imposed on the goods which are mainly produced domestically in the country. So in this way here, excise duty and customs duty, they are opposite to each other. So if you talk about at central level, excise duty, which is mainly used to levy as central excise duty and additional excise duty, etc. And this excise duty, which is mainly levied on the manufactured goods, and they are mainly levied at the removal at the time of removal of goods, and at the even GST is also levied on the supply of the goods and services as well. So if we're talking about types of excise duty, we need to talk about three types of excise duty. So first one is basic excise duty, second one is additional excise duty, and third one here is special excise duty. So basic excise duty is also known as central VAT, that is central value added tax, and it is mainly the category of excise duty. And this excise duty, which is mainly levied on goods that were classified under the first schedule of Central Excise Tariff Act of 1985. And this duty, which mainly imposed on all the goods except salt. On salt, we do not have this basic excise duty, but on all the goods we have this basic excise duty, which mainly imposed under the first schedule of Central Excise Tariff Act of 1985. And if you're talking about additional excise duty, so it is mainly levied on the goods of high importance. And here this duty, which mainly levied under additional excise under additional duties of excise goods goods of specific importance Act of 1957. And this tax, which mainly imposed on the special category of goods. And if you're talking about specific excise duty, so this type of excise duty was levied on special goods classified under the second schedule of the Central Excise Tariff Act of 1985. Okay, and here presently the central excise duty, which mainly comprising of basic excise duty, special additional excise duty, as well as additional excise duty. So this is about this topic. And now let's try to see next topic. It is regarding Assam Arunachal Pradesh border issue. So title says Assam Arunachal Pradesh row will be resolved by 2023. So this article is important from your polity point of view, which mainly comes under your GS paper 2. So in Lakshmikant, there is one chapter regarding the special category for some states. Okay, you have to refer that topic as well regarding this article. So if you see context, it mainly says that our Union Home Minister, he said the interstate boundary dispute between Arunachal Pradesh and Assam would be resolved by 2023. Okay, so Union Home Minister, he mainly said that the interstate boundary dispute that is mainly present between this Arunachal Pradesh and as well as Assam, they would be resolved by 2023. So if you see details, it mainly says that it must be noted that the assembly elections in Arunachal Pradesh, which is mainly going to be held in 2024. Okay, so here addressing the function here of this Ramakrishna Mission School in Arunachal Pradesh. So here this is a statement which is mainly given. Okay, so assembly elections, they are in Arunachal Pradesh, it is due in 2024. So in the addressing of this function in this Ramakrishna Mission School, so these are the some statements which are mainly given. And here if you see, this article says that so more than 60% of disputed areas of Assam Meghalaya boundary had been resolved. Okay, so about 60% of dispute area which already had been resolved. And next one is we were optimistic with similar disputes between Arunachal Pradesh and as well as Assam as well. So here we are mainly trying to resolve this issue, and this issue will be resolved by like next year. So this is a thing which mainly said by our Home Minister, that is Union Home Minister. So if you're talking about this issue regarding this Assam Arunachal Pradesh border dispute issue, so actually, so this dispute which mainly present because of these states are mainly carved out of this. Okay, so if you're talking about Assam has had boundary dispute with all the northeastern states which are mainly carved out of it. Okay, so Assam had this boundary dispute with all the northeastern states from where these are mainly carved out. So here Arunachal Pradesh and Mizoram, they were separated from Assam as union territories in 1972, and they got the statehood in 1987. Okay, and they came up with the constitutional boundary. And what happened, whatever the things which are mainly based on this boundary or regarding the demarcation of the boundary, so what happened, these tribal stakeholders are not being consulted. So because of this, what happened now, this dispute which mainly arose. And the issue with this Arunachal Pradesh has more to do with a 1951 report, and this report prepared by a subcommittee which mainly headed by Assam's first chief minister. So if we're talking about Assam Arunachal Pradesh boundary issue, so Assam mainly shares about 804.10 kilometer interstate boundary with this Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, and the state of Arunachal Pradesh mainly created in 1987, and it mainly claims that some amount of the land that traditionally belonging to this residents has been given to Assam. And they also came with a tripartite committee, and this tripartite committee which had recommended that certain territories be transferred from Assam to Arunachal Pradesh, and these two states have since been battling it out with the court over the state. Okay, out in the court. So what happened, because this issue they are mainly battling in the court regarding this issue. So now let us try to see why do this interstate boundary disputes they remained unresolved. So what are the reasons? So first and the foremost thing here is linguistic idea of reorganization. So although the state's reorganization commission of 1956, which was mainly based on the administrative convenience, but the state reorganized largely based on the idea of one language, one state. And next one is geographical complexity. So here what happened, so these northeastern states are mainly present in the rugged terrain, and there are a number of hills and as well as rivers, forests, etc. So because of this, here borders cannot be physically marked. And next one is colonial maps have left out large tracts of northeastern crude Assam as a thick forest or marked them as unexplored. So this is also one important reason. And next one is indigenous communities. So indigenous communities means nothing but tribal people, they are present in that region, so they are mainly left alone. Okay, so here these are some important reasons for the unresolved conflicts. So if we're talking about location of Assam, so this blue color thing is Assam, and here we have Arunachal Pradesh, here we have Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, and as well as Meghalaya. So this is very important. And now let us try to see next topic. Title says river linking project in Gujarat scrapped. So this article is important from your environment and ecology, which mainly comes in your GS paper 3. So when you are talking about river linking projects, you need to know about what will be the advantages, what will be the disadvantages. So this topic is very important from even in your geography point of view as well, because we are talking about rivers, right? So if we're talking about context, it mainly says that Gujarat government announced that it had scrapped the proposed Par-Thapi Narmada River Link project in South Gujarat. So because why? Because there are many protests which are mainly coming from these tribal communities from the 3 districts of the region. So because of this state government, that is Gujarat government, which made announced that they had scrapped this proposed Par-Thapi Narmada River Link project. So if we're talking about details, it mainly says that a chief minister of Gujarat, he mainly called a press conference in Surat, and finally he declared about this controversial project. Okay, actually this project which mainly proposed in the union budget, which had been scrapped. So due to some misunderstandings which were mainly created among the tribal people, they were upset with this project, and the state government had not granted any approval for this commencing of this project works. So because of this is in news. So according to India Water Resource Information System, so this project which mainly proposed to transfer water from this water surplus region, okay, of this Western Ghats to the districts of Saurashtra and as well as Kutch region. Okay, and in this process they are going to build about 7 reservoirs in the North Maharashtra and as well as South Gujarat. So these are some important details. So here if you are talking about the map where it exactly located, here we have this is a Par river, and this is a Tapi river, and this is the Narmada river. So we are mainly going for linking of these 3, Par, Tapi and as well as Narmada. And here in this way here, this area, so this area, it is a water rich area, right? So from here the water which is mainly diverted to the Saurashtra and as well as Kutch region, they are the mainly water deficit regions. So if you're talking about some facts regarding this project, that is Par Thapi Narmada link project, it mainly proposes to transfer the water from this water surplus area of Western Ghats to the water deficit regions of Saurashtra and as well as Kutch region. And this project which mainly includes 7 reservoirs, and they are mainly proposed in northern Maharashtra region and as well as southern Gujarat region. So water from these 7 proposed reservoirs, that would be mainly taken through about 395 kilometers long canal, and that will be helpful mainly for the irrigation. Okay, and the 7 dams which are mainly proposed are Jeri Dam, Monkavachali, next one is Paiket, Chasmandwa, Chikkar, Dabda, Kelwan. So these are the 7 dams which are mainly proposed, and this would save Sardar Sarovar's water, and that can be extensively used for irrigation in Saurashtra and as well as Kutch region. So if we're talking about the previous question regarding this river water, that is interlinking of rivers, in 2016 there was one question which appeared in our UPSC prelims, that is recently linking of which of the following rivers is undertaken. So in 2016 this Godavari and Krishna is seen news, so because of this question which mainly appeared in the news, and you may get question regarding this topic as well. So if we're talking about benefits of interlinking of rivers, so it will be helpful for reducing the regional imbalance. So India mainly depends on monsoon rains, right? So here what happened, so in some areas we will be getting good amount of rainfall. So if you see here, so in this Western Ghats we will be getting good amount of rainfall. In the northeastern region we will be getting rainfall. So whenever the winds are progressing in this direction, so the moisture content in these winds will be decreased. So here this areas they will be getting enough rainfall, and whenever they are going further, so they will be getting less amount of rainfall. Especially in the rain shadow region also they will be getting less amount of rainfall. So because of this, what happened, in some areas we will be getting surplus rainfall, in some areas we will be getting deficit rainfalls, and even we can see drought like conditions as well. So because of this, here whenever we are going for interlinking of rivers, that will be helpful to reduce the regional imbalance. And next one is irrigation for agriculture. So interlinking can also provide a solution to a rain-fed irrigation problems of Indian agriculture as well. And next one is it will be also helpful to reduce the water distress. So this can help in mitigating the effect of drought and as well as floods to some extent. And next one here is we can also go for hydropower generation, okay, and we can have a good navigation, good employment generation, ecological benefits as well. So if you're talking about challenges, yes, we will be having environmental cost. because it mainly threatens or obstructs the natural ecology of rivers. So for example, if there is a one river here and if there is another river here, whenever we are going for interlinking of rivers here, so this environment which is different when we are comparing to that of this environment. So whenever the fishes or any flora and fauna, whenever they are mainly moving or coming into contact with this water, that will be also leads to some adaptations. Okay, or for sometimes if they are not going for adaptations, means they can also lead to loss of the life, right? So because of this, they will be having some effect on the ecology of that area. And even climate change. So whenever we are going for interlinking of rivers, so it will be also leads to some climate change related things. And this one is economic cost. That means whenever we are going for interlinking of rivers, we need to go for building of canals, etc. That will be like a huge physical burden on the government. And next one is socio-economic impact. So here whenever we are going for any channel construction, that will be also lead to displacement of number of people. So this is also some cause of concern. So this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding new species of snake which mainly found in Meghalaya. So here this is a snake which is mainly found, that is Trimeresus mae. Okay, Trimeresus mae. So this article is important from your environment and ecology, which mainly comes under your GS paper 3. So if you see context, it mainly says that Meghalaya is a land of mythical evil spirit that takes the form of giant serpent called Euthylin, has yielded a new to science venomous green snake. So what happened? Venomous green snake, which is mainly identified in this Meghalaya. So actually this snake which is mainly recorded simultaneously in Mizoram as well. And here this snake which has been named as Maya's pit viper. Okay, and what happened? One deceased mother of an army officer and as well as 7 other authors, they mainly started studying this snake. And the name of the pit viper which mainly recognized as Trimeresus mae. So this new species which mainly seen in Meghalaya, Mizoram and as well as even Guwahati. So now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding monkeypox virus. So recently there was many cases of this monkeypox virus are mainly recorded. So title says that researchers share the draft genome sequence of this monkeypox virus. So we are not talking about this genome sequences. So we are mainly focusing on this monkeypox virus. So if you're talking about this monkeypox virus, it is a viral zoonosis, that is a viral disease which is mainly transmitted from animals to humans. So zoonotic disease means this are the some important things you have to remember. So zoonotic means that this disease which mainly transmitted from animals to humans. So what if whenever the disease which mainly transmitted from from human to animals is happening? So what is the term which is mainly used here? From animal to humans means we are talking it is as zoonotic disease. Now what is the term which is mainly used if there is a transmission of disease from the humans to animals? So let me know that separate word in the comment box. So we're talking about here monkeypox virus. It is a zoonotic disease and it is a virus which is mainly causing this disease. So here the people who are infected with this virus, they will be having some similar symptoms like those who are having this smallpox etc. here. And if you're talking about this eradication of this smallpox which mainly happened in 1980, and after the subsequent session of this smallpox vaccination, so it has emerged as a most important orthopox virus. And if you're talking about this orthopox virus which mainly contains 4 species, okay, first one is variola, that is smallpox, monkeypox, vaccinia, and as well as cowpox disease. And this monkeypox, it is zoonotic disease, okay, that mainly occurs primarily in the tropical rainforest areas of Central and as well as West Asia region. And this monkeypox virus infection which has been detected in squirrels and as well as some poached rats, dormice and as well as some other sources of other species of monkey, they will be acting as a host. And if you're talking about background regarding this monkeypox virus, so it was first discovered in 1958. Okay, it was first discovered in 1958 following the 2 outbreaks of pox-like disease in the colonies of monkeys which are mainly kept for research. So because of this, the name here is monkeypox. And symptoms it mainly includes fever will be there, rashes on the skin, swollen lymph nodes. So if we're talking about transmission, so it is mainly transmitted from the wild animals such as rodents and as well as primates to humans. And if you're talking about human to human transmission, so the first human case was recorded in 1970 in the DRC, that is Democratic Republic of Congo, during the period of intensified effort to eliminate this smallpox. So we're talking about incubation period. Incubation period means after once this virus which entered into our body, so how much time will it taken to multiply. So incubation period or to onset of the symptoms, so not exactly multiply. So after once the virus which mainly entered, and whenever we are getting the first symptom, and this time period is called as incubation period. So this incubation period for monkeypox is usually 7 to 14 days. Okay, and not only the 7 to 14 days, sometimes we can see here symptoms will be onset within this 5 days also. So here 5 to 21 days we can see this is the incubation period. And if you're talking about treatment is very important part. So the clinical presentation of this monkeypox, which mainly resembles as a smallpox, and there is no proper treatment for this monkeypox, but we are having some vaccines, that is vaccinia. So it mainly used for this eradicating of this smallpox program. And some new generation, that is a new third generation vaccine which has now been approved for the prevention of this smallpox and as well as even for monkeypox. So next here is one question which appeared in this 2014 in our UPSC prelims, that is consider the following diseases. First one is diphtheria, second one is chickenpox, and third one is smallpox. Which of the following or above disease have been eradicated in India? Okay, so as we all know, that is a chickenpox only. That is correct option will be B3 only. And next topic, it is regarding mantle core. Okay, so if you're talking about different layers of earth, we have core, we have mantle, and we have crust. So these are the three important layers, as you all know. So earth, which is like a concentric circles that we can see in onion. So inner we have core and outer we have mantle, and outermost will be the crust. So this article is important from your GS paper 1 under geography point of view. So now let us try to say the context. So if you say context, it mainly says that this new research, which mainly led by University of Cambridge, has found an unusual pocket of a rock that boundary layer with the Earth's core. Okay, it is like some 3000 kilometers depth the surface. So this new research which mainly found a one rock, okay, and this one rock at the boundary layer at the Earth's core, it is like 3000 kilometers depth of surface. So if you're talking about this big rock, so it is mainly located almost directly beneath this Hawaiian Islands. So it is one of the several ultra low velocity zones, okay, which are so called because earthquake waves are very slow in crawling here, and very slowly they will be passing into this thing regarding this earthquakes. So if you're talking about details, it mainly says that the research, okay, the research Nature Communications, which mainly reveals that complex and internal viability of one of these pockets in detail, shedding the light on the landscape of its deep interior. So here research which mainly said that complex internal variability that is mainly seen. Okay, so there is a complex internal variability of rocks which is mainly seen. And if you're talking about its interior, it is like a concentric circles that we can see in onion. So we have core, we have mantle, and we have outer shell, that is a crust. So here what happened, although mantle which is like a solid rock, it is not enough to flow extreme slowly. So if you're talking about scientists, they use the seismic waves from the earthquake and they started studying beneath this earth surface, and mainly they found this type of big rocks which are mainly present. Until recently, images of the structure of that core mantle boundary have been grainy and as difficult to intercept. And research now they use the numerical modeling methods to reveal the structures that at a core mantle boundary. And actually they observed a 40% of reduction in the speed of seismic waves which are mainly traveling at the base of ultra low velocity zone beneath this Hawaii. So beneath this Hawaii, they mainly saw that there is a very good and very good, and there is a very low velocity, okay, very low velocity zone that is present beneath this Hawaii. So according to the authors, they mainly support that there is existing of like much more iron in this surrounding rocks. So whenever they are having much more iron means they will be very denser and they will be also more sluggish. And now let's try to see next topic is regarding trees are dying. So this article is important from your environment and ecology, which mainly comes under your GS paper 3. So if we're talking about context, it mainly says that the risk of trees dying in tropical forest of northern Australia, which can be double. So in northern Australia region, so the tropical forest, in this tropical forest, the trees are mainly dying, and this dying rate or the death rate of these trees, which has been doubled since 1980s. So if we're talking about some important details, it mainly says that there are about 2,305 deaths among the dozens of species, and trees death, it is mainly doubled to 2% of a year. So here what happened because of trends in the changing of atmosphere, it is one of the important reason. So this is about this topic, and now let us try to see yesterday's questions. So the first question is regarding cabinet committees. So they are constitutional bodies, but they are extra constitutional bodies, and they are set up by the president according to the exigencies of the time and requirement of situation. It is by prime minister, not by the president. So you can eliminate these two statements. The correct option will be neither one nor two, that is 4. And next question is regarding in India, Parliament is a supreme authority and deliberative authority body. So as per the constitution, which are the part which mainly constitutes the parliament? So we have Lok Sabha, we have Rajya Sabha, and we have president, but not vice president and speaker. So you can eliminate this 4 and 5, and the correct option is 1, 2 and 3 only, that is option 2. And these are today's questions. The first one is regarding removal of vice president, and second question is regarding rules of Lok Sabha. So try to read the statements given and try to give me the correct option in the comment box. And I want to make a small announcement on this platform. So here in this Rathod's IS, we came up with this foundational course for 2023 and 2024, and this course is absolutely beneficial for the prelims and as well as the mains and even interview point of view. And we are discussing each and every topic in a very great detail, and concept clarity will be given here. And we need to follow the trends of UPSC. UPSC is not asking static based questions. It started asking some critical questions based on the conceptual learning. So concept clearance is very, very important, that you need to focus. And the cost of this course, it is just 60,000 rupees with validity of 2 years. It also includes 1 year mains answer writing course and as well as 1 year prelims test series. So please don't take this opportunity as a choice. So try to join this course as soon as possible. And if you have any queries, you can call me on this number 8074765513. And if you want to take only the single subject, like only history, only geography, ethics, economy, science and technology, like that, you can take the single subjects also. So here we are also providing the single modules. So now let us try to see today's Hindu newspaper PDF. So this is our today's Hindu, and date here is May 22, and this is Delhi edition. So the first article, it is regarding this fuel taxes. I discussed this topic in a great detail. So please, if you have skipped the video, so in the first article itself I discussed this topic. And if you move forward, here you can see flood claims 25 lives in the northeastern region. So actually there was floods in this Assam region. So let me know which are the rivers which mainly flowing in this Assam, and you have to know about some details of that rivers, and you have to know about especially the tributaries of those rivers which are mainly passing through this Assam. And if you move forward, there is nothing much important in the states and as well as the city page today. And you can directly move to this news page. So in this news page here, you can see CBI files FIR in this Bengal recruitment case. So this Bengal recruitment case is very, very important regarding this Group C staff in this Bengal region. So actually what happened, there are some fake recommendations and as well as some bypassing of chain of order that is mainly seen. And now if you're talking about any scams in news, so that will be important from your GS4, that is ethics point of view. You can quote these examples whenever you're talking about lack of integrity and high skills, lack of values also. And if you move forward, in this page you can see about this Arunachal Pradesh and Assam issue. I discussed this topic, and river linking project, I discussed this topic. And here you can see center announces Ayush initiatives in Sikkim. So you have to see this topic once. And regarding this new species, I discussed this topic. And if you move forward here, Pakistan, China nurtured tree of friendship. So this is the statement which is mainly given by the Sharif. So Pakistan and China, they are two brothers. Okay, so they mainly nurtured the evergreen tree of mutual friendship over the years. Okay, so there is a, we can say like they are all time friends. And now let us try to move forward. And here in the science and technology, I discussed regarding the trees are dying. And there is one article regarding elephants mourning. That means, so recently a fresh video which mainly shows about insights regarding how these Asiatic elephants, they respond to death. And researchers mainly use these videos to decide behavior of elephant, and as well as they are mainly going to study about some important factors as well. And next article is regarding India registered success in this BP treatment. So this article is mainly talking about India Hypertension Control Initiative. So I think 3 or 4 days back we discussed about this topic, which appeared in the text and context, right? So this article just mainly says that India, which has more than 200 million, okay, 200 million people, they are suffering with this hypertension, and only 14.5% of individuals, they are having this hypertension, and they are on treatment. And since 2018, more than 2 million people, okay, they have been started on treatment and tracked for this BP control. So since 2018 here, 2 million patients, they have been started on treatment, and as well as they started tracking for their BP treatment, BP control. Next one is the project has been demonstrated that blood pressure treatment and control is feasible in this PHC settings as well. And nearly half, that is about 47% of the patients under the care, they have achieved this blood pressure control. And if you move forward, I discussed about this monkeypox virus, and there is one article regarding this: scientists can neutralize pit viper venom. So a substance which mainly found in fruits and as well as vegetables, they can neutralize the venom in a poisonous pit viper. Okay, so this is about this news. And there is one article regarding this pangolins. You can read this article easily. And I discussed regarding this crust and mantle core. And if you move towards this FAQ, there is one article regarding this why Turkey, which is against this Sweden joining NATO. So here you need to know one important word, that is about one terrorist organization or one party that is present in Turkey, sorry, in this Sweden and Finland, that is like PKK, that is Kurdistan Workers Party. Okay, Turkey says that Sweden and Finland, they have ties with these terrorist groups, and it is a reference to the Kurdistan worker parties and as well as people protection units. Okay, so these are some important groups that are mainly present, and Turkey says that yes, they are mainly having some allies with these terrorist organizations. So this is about this topic. And there is one article regarding this holes in biodiversity bill, that is about biological diversity amendments bill of 2021. So already we discussed this topic, and you can go through that easily. So these are some important articles that appear in this today's Hindu newspaper. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. So please subscribe to Rathod's IAS Academy, and don't forget to like, share and comment my videos. Thank you so much.